34 farmers have killed themselves in Maharashtra. This in the last 1 week alone. The Maharashtra government, meanwhile, is still processing farmer applications for the loan waiver scheme. And it gets worse. In Marathwada alone, 580 farmers committed suicide in the last 8 months. This is from a government report that keeps track of relief paid to dead farmers' kin.
It's been an alarming situation really in Maharashtra, especially when it comes to the last week statistics which we have received from across Aurangabad division, which consists around 7 other districts as well. Around 34 farmers have committed suicide alone in the Aurangabad division in last 7 days. That is quite alarming situation because the farmers are really in despair, in stress.
Farmers are crying out for help, but their cries are going unheard. These 34 recent deaths come just a month after farmers across India and Maharashtra took to the streets demanding for farm loan waivers. Then, Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis was quick to contain the uproar by announcing a record farm loan waiver of 34,000 crores. But clearly, the benefits are yet to trickle down to farmers in distress. In fact, Marathwada, which had weathered droughts over 3 consecutive years between 2012 to 2015, is in the middle of a prolonged dry spell again. The government too blames below average rainfall for the crop failure this year. The story of Marathwada tells the story of farmers across India. Mirror now asks, how many times do our farmers have to cry out for help before the government wakes up? How many more deaths will it take for the state and centre to wake up? Mirror Now report.
34 farmers have taken their own lives in the Marathwada region in the last 1 week. This takes the total death toll up to well over 500 for this year. The government has barely blinked an eye. Why hasn't there been a stronger reaction to the fact that despite all of the noise being made about farm loan waivers, our farmers are still killing themselves? Nobody has paid attention, not even the opposition. Are our farmers so low in our list of priorities that the government is yet to bat an eyelid? Our farmers should be the most important part of our country, but right now, other than the middle class, they seem to be of really low priority to the government. Is this because we are right in the middle of the term and there's no election in the horizon? Why aren't the farmers more important? And what should the government do to save their lives? Joining me on the show this evening, Aarti Sathi, spokesperson of the BJP in Maharashtra, Clyde Clastor, spokesperson of the NCP, Yogesh Pandey, the spokesperson of the swabhimani shetkari sanghatana. He's a farmer activist. Chengal Reddy will join us as well. He's also a farm activist. Anil Patil is a social worker who works exclusively with farmers. Kishore Tiwari, the chairperson of the Maharashtra State Government panel, will join us as well. He's worked extensively with the Vasantrao Nayak Shetkari mission. He's given a lot of recommendations to the government on how this problem should be solved. I'm going to go first to Yogesh Pandey. Yogesh Pandey ji, the last time we spoke, we were talking about farm loan waivers. The Maharashtra government made announcements of farm loan waivers. We understand that nearly 12 lakh farmers have registered for these waivers. Why are we still losing lives then, Yogesh Pandey? What's happening on the ground?
Firstly, the announcement made by this farm loan waiver is totally... There is no faith by farmers in this announcement. And why there is a need of filling online forms by the farmers? When Honorable Chief Minister had tweeted and district-wise he had given a list of farmers who are beneficiary. So then why didn't they declare the name of the farmers who are beneficiary? The conditions which are made for this to be eligibility for this farm loan waiver is such that hardly 5 to 10% farmers will in each sector will not get more benefit of this farm loan waiver. Now the real problem is the drought condition in 2/3 of the Maharashtra. But there is no statement from this government. Absolutely no one is speaking. Honorable Prime Minister is silent, Chief Minister is silent, and every day farmers are dying. For what now we are waiting? The conditions of farmers is in despair. They are in a very severe condition and psychologically they have totally collapsed. Now not only farmers, Worst part is the daughters of farmer. In last 4-5 days, nearly 2 daughters of the farmers have committed suicide. She cannot bear the pressure of her father. And there are the notices from bank coming to farmers for the loan recovery. This is such a shameful thing. And in last 2 years, we have waived nearly 2.5 lakh crore rupees, 2 lakh crore, more than 2 lakh crore to the corporate sector has a bad debts. They had been written off. And on other side, farmer is asking, now all the political parties should sit together and find a solution. They should speak, have a dialogue, and all should go and build his morale. But sadly, this is not happening, and they are all passing ball games, just mudslinging each other.
So
Very sad
Yogesh
condition.
Pandey, Yogesh, explain to me this, and this is largely right now going across, this show is being watched by people across the country. I want to understand, explain to us what is the season right now for farmers. What do the farmers need money for? What should they be doing, and why are they suffering?
Actually, Med Department, this is the now first culprit is Med Department. Med Department in May, last week of the May month, they had declared that there is going to be plenty rain and rainfall will be more than 5% than the normal rain. Trusting this, the farmers had sowed in the month of June, and later there was no spells. First, the sowing of the crop has been on west. Then there is a Dubar Perni, re-sowing, that is also in the west. And as of now, nearly 15 to 20 lakh hectares of crop has been totally damaged, and there is no hope. Even it rained within 4-5 days, there will be no, it will be of no use to the farmer. Now even if we give third time for cultivation, this is not going to happen. So this season of Kharif is totally lost, and right now there is season of soybean, then oil seeds, cotton, and 2/3 of Maharashtra, take it Marathwada, Vidarbha, then part of northern Maharashtra, and even we are not speaking because you are on a national channel, so not only Maharashtra, we can speak about other states also. Central India is facing a severe drought, and on other side, every day Med Department is coming with a statement. It is very jokingly that 2 days back Med Department issued a statement that this is going to heavy shower, and it will be emergency situation in Vidarbha and Marathwada due to rains. Where is rain? Today I was speaking with several farmers. They said there is no rain absolutely. So Med Department should give a real picture. Just to please the farmer and just to please the policy maker, that we are just passing the time.
Okay. Let me bring in Anil Patil as well. Anil Patil, here's the problem. 200 farmers committed suicide in Maharashtra in January, 220 in February, 235 in March, and now we have this shocking number of 34 who have died in the last 1 week. Anil Patil, explain to us what's going wrong. Has the government failed our farmers, or is this purely just rain?
मेरे ख्याल से ये किसी गवर्नमेंट के ऊपर बोलना उचित नहीं है। आज की तारीख में महाराष्ट्र में लोग सुसाइड कर रहे हैं, फार्मर सुसाइड कर रहे हैं। अभी मेरे मित्र स्वाभिमानी शेतकरी संगठन के जो स्पीकर है उन्होंने जो बताया वो सही है। किसान की बेटियां अभी सुसाइड कर रही है। उनको ऐसा लग रहा है कि हम अपने पिता के ऊपर बोझ बन रहे हैं। ये एकदम क्रॉनिक सिचुएशन है, लेकिन इसका समाधान केवल सरकार के ऊपर कुछ टिप्पणियां करके होने वाला नहीं है। अपने यहाँ की पॉलिसी मेकर्स का जो क्लोज रूम मीटिंग होता है और वो इसी में बैठ के जो पॉलिसी बनाते हैं, उनको ग्राउंड लेवल की सिचुएशन ज्यादातर मालूम नहीं है, ऐसा मेरा कहना है। आज की तारीख में अपना एक मराठी चैनल पे एक स्ट्रिप आ रहा था कि महिसाल लिफ्ट इरिगेशन स्कीम के एरिया के एक किसान ने आत्महत्या की है। मैडम, मैं ये कहना चाहता हूं कि जहां पर ड्राउट है, महाराष्ट्र में आज मराठवाड़ा और विदर्भ में 20% से लेके 59% तक कम बारिश डिफिसिट हुआ है, ऐसा वेदर डिपार्टमेंट का रिपोर्ट है जो उन्होंने पब्लिश किया है। वो कह रहे हैं आज बारिश आएगा। मैं उनके फोरकास्टिंग के ऊपर नहीं बोलूंगा, क्योंकि फोरकास्टिंग मॉडल में बहुत सारे सुधार लाने की आवश्यकता है। हमारे यहाँ जो क्लाउड मैपिंग और बाकी जो चीजें हैं जो डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज में है, वो अपने यहाँ पर अभी तक आई नहीं है। मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूं, लेकिन जहां पर पानी है वहां पर भी किसान आत्महत्या कर रहे हैं। इसके लिए आउट ऑफ बॉक्स जा करके इसके बारे में समाधान निकालने की आवश्यकता है। खाली सरकार और विपक्ष को एक दूसरे को लड़वा के एक दूसरे के ऊपर टिप्पणियां करके इसका समाधान निकलने वाला नहीं है। आज पिछले 10 साल से किसान आत्महत्या कर रहे हैं, मर रहे हैं। विदर्भ में यवतमाल जैसे डिस्ट्रिक्ट में सबसे ज्यादा आत्महत्या हुई, तब पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री मनमोहन सिंह जी ने किसी का कहा सुना मान के बहुत बड़ा पैकेज दिया, लेकिन उससे भी कुछ समाधान नहीं निकला है। इसके लिए जो डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज में जो पॉलिसी मेकर्स होते हैं उनके लिए एक थिंक टैंक होता है, वो थिंक टैंक का रिस्पेक्ट करना ये प्रश्न का पहला समाधान है, ऐसा मेरा कहना है।
Aarti Sathi, spokesperson of the BJP Maharashtra. Aarti Sathi, why no response from the government or from the Chief Minister about these farmer suicides? Isn't 34 in 1 week a shocking number?
See, I think the Chief Minister has, in the speech which he gave recently on the Independence Day itself, very categorically stated that we are working towards cutting down the farmer suicides. And at the same time, we have taken a slew of measures in the agrarian sector as far as Maharashtra is concerned. Just to point out a few of them rather, I'd like to just, few of them. I'd just like to point out that what are the steps that the government has taken. And the most important one is the Jal Yukta Shivar. Sorry, I'm getting a problem in my audio, in my audio.
Right, we'll just get that fixed. I apologize, Aarti. I apologize. We've had a problem with our audio for the last couple of days. We're going to get that fixed. Clyde, Aarti was talking about how, the government has done its bit.
No, Aarti was about to talk about the Jal Yukta Shivar. Unfortunately, she couldn't hear. But the point here is the Jal Yukta Shivar is a complete failed scheme. If you go around Maharashtra, if you send your reporters on the ground level, it's a complete failed scheme. Jal Yukta Shivar was started with the promise that it's going to curb farmer suicides. But if you go out today, that's one thing that has failed. I mean, there are people on this panel who know much more at ground reality than a lot of us who can talk here, and they will also watch for the fact that it has failed and it's not worked. And the whole point here, which we are trying to discuss, is farmer suicide. It's about the rain that we are talking about right now, but a lot of things have led to what the farmers are facing today. There are the things about the minimum support price. We are talking about the Swaminathan recommendation that should have been implemented. Those have not been implemented yet. So let's not look at just at there's no rain at the moment. There are a lot of factors that have come together that have forced these farmers to commit suicide. The government is completely turning a blind eye to this whole thing. One gentleman said that you cannot blame the government completely for this. But right now, the incumbent government, it's their duty to look into all these issues, starting from getting a. I'll tell you, when the demonetization happened, we were on your channel and we were discussing. Farmers were so upset with not getting their crops sold. There was no minimum support price. They were throwing their wares onto the streets. They were so upset about it.
This is important, and Chengal Reddy is with us right now.
And one point I wanted to make, in the APMC markets, they were the product was supposed to be bought at 5,000 rupees a quintal. That was promised by the Chief Minister. But in the APMC market, their head went on to say that they were sold for 4,000 rupees. So that 1,000 rupee margin that was there was being eaten up by the brokers in between, and the farmers never got their money. So these are the issues that need to be touched upon, which are leading to all this problem.
Let me bring in Chengal Reddy, and I know that Anil Patil आपने अपना हाथ ऊपर किया, मैं आपके पास आ रही हूँ एक मिनट. But I want to bring in Chengal Reddy. Chengal Reddy, not long ago we were on this channel talking about the fact that farmers were protesting, and the governments, various state governments of various political parties, threw money at the problem and said, here is a farm loan waiver, stop protesting. Farmers called off their protest. Now it's no longer a protest. Now it is just mass suicide. 34 farmers in the Marathwada region alone, not even the whole of Maharashtra. And both Anil and Yogesh are telling us that even the daughters are committing suicide right now because they cannot bear the financial distress. And the governments have not reacted, Chengal Reddy.
Chala disturbance వస్తుంది. వినపట్టాం. సరిగా వినపట్టాంలే బాబు.
Okay, so Chengal Reddy can't hear us either. I'm going to ask our audio person to get this right. I'll go back to Anil Patil. Anil Patil, आपको कुछ कहना था जल शिवार के बारे में? बोलिए.
मुझे ये कहना है, जलयुक्त शिवार जो है ये महाराष्ट्र के मुख्यमंत्री का ड्रीम प्रोजेक्ट है. और महाराष्ट्र के माननीय मुख्यमंत्री ने इसके ऊपर बड़ा फोकस किया है। इसमें गांव का पानी गांव में रोकने की कोशिश की जा रही है। इसके ऊपर टिप्पणी करने के बजाय मेरा जो पैनलिस्ट है उनको ये कहना है कि किसान की आत्महत्या क्यों होती है, इसके ऊपर हम बात करें। जलयुक्त शिवार कोई गलत नहीं है।
नहीं साहब, मैं यही कहना चाह रहा हूं आपसे, मैं आपसे यही कहना चाह रहा हूं, हम तो सुसाइड के बारे में बात कर ही रहे हैं, लेकिन जो कारण जो है, एक कारण की वजह से सुसाइड नहीं हो रहा है, बहुत सारे कारण है। और जलयुक्त शिवार जो है, नहीं जलयुक्त शिवार जो है,
लेकिन जलयुक्त शिवार में गांव के लोग इसमें जुड़े हुए हैं। बहुत सारे गांव में लोगों ने अपने आप आगे आके अपने यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा था आज तक हर एक चीज में सरकार ने करना, सरकार के पास से होना।
Right, I want to bring Aarti Sathi. Can you hear me now? Is the audio better?
Yeah, I can. Yes, I can hear you, Faye. It's just that when I'm speaking, there is an echo because of which I cannot connect with my conversation.
If that's still happening, we'll try and get that fixed. We're going to take a very quick break here on Urban Debate. We're going to get these problems fixed, and then we'll come back in a minute. We are watching the Urban Debate in Mirror now. I apologize to our viewers and our panel for the technical issues we were having before we went into break. They seem, I'm told, that they're fixed right now. We're going to try and do quick audio checks with Aarti Sathi and Chengal Reddy. I'll go to Chengal Reddy first. Chengal Reddy, if you can hear me, here's my question. The last time we spoke, we talked about farmer suicides and farmer protests. Various governments threw money at the problem, Chengal Reddy, and said, here is a farm loan waiver, stop protesting. The farmers had stopped protesting then, they're committing suicide now, and not a single reaction has come from any government. Yeah. Aarti Sathi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Faye. See, I'd like to make this very brief because of this technical problem. Let me first and foremost tell you that the government has taken a slew of measures as far as reducing the farmer suicides are concerned. In fact, in a recent article which I read, it very clearly said that there has been a marginal drop as far as farmer suicides are concerned. The government has at the same time, employed the services of 3 agricultural universities to give, to give a crop pattern on the basis of which the farmers can really sow the crops as per the climatic season and the water table available. Also, what they have done is the Chief Minister has very categorically asked all the district officials to complete the process of providing the soil health card to the farmers, which was normally done in 3 years. Now it is going to be done in 2 years. There are going to be higher disbursements from banks of the farm loans. There is a crop insurance policy which has been brought in place. And there is a flow chart which has been actually, made for the purposes of deciding what crop needs to be sown at what point of time. So the government at all times is doing everything possible to, help the government, and the agricultural reforms in Maharashtra are at the highest. The Jalayukta Shivar has been a big hit in the Maharashtra government, in the Maharashtra state. It has benefited
all right,
a lot of farmers.
Let's just get some rebuts to that,
also,
and then I'll come back to you.
Policies
yes.
which the
Yeah, I'll come back to you. I'm really sorry about that. Clyde, you wanted to...
I just want to tell you something, like Aarti said, that there is a drop in the suicide rate. Let me tell you, I'm going to read out from a Times of India report itself. The Times of India report says that Maharashtra farmer suicides rise 15% to 235 in March. There was an increase in the farmer suicide. So there's been no drop in the percentage of farmer suicide. In fact, there's an increase. That's what I want to actually tell the viewers, that there are reports that we've all been reading on a regular basis. So there's no drop as such.
All right, and Kishore Tiwari joins us right now. Kishore Tiwari is the chairman of the Maharashtra State Government panel for the VNSS. Mr. Tiwari, I'm so glad to have you on the panel because you're widely accepted as an expert in this area. Most journalists, very senior journalists, swear by the information that you give on the topic of farmers and farmer distress. I want you to comment on the fact that the farm loan waiver offered by the Maharashtra government required so much information and so many conditions and was so complicated to sign on for that a lot of farmers just dropped it and walked away. What is your reaction to the method in which these farmers had to register for these farm loan waivers?
No. What is happening is 2008, the 72,000 mega loan waiver was given and it was misused. That's the report of CAG and that's the report of Narendra Jadhav committee in Maharashtra. Now what is happening, if you want to give the loan to the distressed and needy farmer, there should be a systematic procedure to shortlist the farmers who are in distress and the need. Now I am looking at your figures of the farmer suicide and I should say that these are the figures given by us only, VNSSM. But now you see, last year was a bumper crop and there was suicides. Now there is a crop failure, there are suicides.
Why did we imported 1,50,000 crore agri produce in India if there was a bumper crop in our state and our country?
No, who is speaking? I do not know why he is speaking in between.
No, let him. Let Mr. Tiwari finish.
To understand who are.
Okay, Mr. Tiwari, I apologize.
No. Why this?
Yes, that was Yogesh Pandey of the Shetkari Sanghatana. Mr. Tiwari, you were.
Procedure.
Yes, you please carry on. You were saying this year there has been a crop failure. Please go ahead.
No. What is the quantitative restriction have been lifted in 2004? And what I wanted to say that import of pulses were done in order to keep the consumer in should get a cheaper pulses. But the Maharashtra government wrote to the center that Maharashtra has gone for a 22 lakh hectare pulses cultivation and this year we have burned our finger by intervention. Let me try to speak. I have been tracking the farmer suicide from last 20 years and I am in the ground and I am speaking from the ground itself. This year Marathwada is in deep trouble and the credit disbursement is a dismissal and only 10,000 rupees was the internal relief was given to the 80 lakh farmer. The nationalized bank dispersed to only 24 to 28,000. That's shameful. So at the policy front, government has been trying to save the farmers, but babus are killing them. The bureaucracy and insensitivity, the banks are killing them. But I want to come on the point that even a bumper crop, even a crop failure, the farmer suicide is the cause of the death because agrarian economics has been collapsed. Let me try to speak. Let me try to complete and you speak. Unless and until you address the core issues, you are going to have a policy reforms. There won't be any relief. Loan waiver is just a superficial binding you are doing, and loan waiver is not the solution. And loan waiver will take his own time to shortlist the beneficiary, and it will start into the banker's account. It will take another 3 months. So if you say the loan waiver has been announced, so the farmer suicide will stop, it is not the case like this. If you look at the NDA policies and the UPA earlier government policies, nothing has been changed. So unless and until you're going to have a change in a drastic change in the policies, there won't be any investment in the rural sector. There won't be in a income release of the income increase of the farmer. So we have been talking about the Maharashtra steps on the ground and all these things. Those people should go to the ground and understand this situation first. And I am not hopeful and optimistic in the present scenario that agrarian crisis will be addressed like this.
Right. That's very well said, that the agrarian economy has completely collapsed, and that is the reason, whether there is a bumper crop or there is a crop failure, there will continue to be suicides. That's Kishore Tiwari, chairman of the Maharashtra State Government panel of the VNSS. He has been tracking farmer distress for a very long time. He is an independent voice. Chengal Reddy, I understand you can hear me now. The economy has collapsed in the farms, Chengal Reddy.
Yeah. See, the recent suicides in Maharashtra indicates that a few months back, Maharashtra government announced a loan waiver. And then we are in August, there are fairly good rains. But even then, suicides are continuing. See, here there is a total, as Mr. Tiwari said, there is a big confusion and total failure of administration, policy makers and everybody. What you must understand clearly is, Indian agriculture is successful, but farmers are unhappy. This is what you must understand basically. These two issues, media, policy makers, whether industry, business, everybody in this country must understand, don't equate food production with that of farmers' distress. Because farmers' distress is totally different. Just now one of our colleagues was telling, last year there was excess production. This there is a drought. Even then there are suicides. The reason is nothing to do with drought or excess production. The problem is policies. Here first and foremost we must understand that the responsibility for policy failures is Government of India. I am not saying it's Mr. Modi or Manmohan Singh or XYZ. No. It is Government of India almost for last 30-40 years systematically have been controlling the prices. For various reasons. I am not going into the details, it's too complex. Secondly, the Government of India always manipulates to control the prices so that they are always kept low. The third aspect, it is again Government of India which controls the entire farm, the lives of the farmers. Look at whether it is credit, crop insurance, risk mitigation, price fixation, procurement, export-import policies, all of them are in the control of Government of India. Now let me tell you a very simple thing. In 2004, when Mrs. Gandhi went to Bundelkhand and came out with a letter with the Swaminathan report, it has reasons, because then in 2004-05 there was serious farmers' distress and the report came. And of course Congress as usual, they didn't implement it. Now Mr. Modi as Chief Minister, he did paid attention in the state as for agriculture. And one of the reasons when he took up campaign as a prime ministerial candidate across the country, if you see, in every rural area, whether it is Nagpur, Ludhiana, Maharashtra, everywhere, see his statements in during the 2 months period, in every public meeting, more so where there are farmers, he went on making promise after promise about the farmers, whether it is MSP, whether it is technical, all these things. Now in 3 years totally, he hasn't implemented even one promise. Let me tell you, not even one promise, except the joke of it is, he converted Ministry of Agriculture as Ministry of Welfare, Farmers' Welfare. And anyway, there is no welfare, there is nothing to do. Then the problem again, Mr. Modi, either knowingly or unknowingly brought greatest catastrophe to the farmers was this demonetization. Remember, right from November onwards, the entire farming community has lost 50% of their agriculture produce because there were no purchasers. The prices went down and there was nobody. And as far as Mr. Tiwari was concerned, he is right. You see, look at the farmers. Who are exactly the farmers who are benefited by the loan waiver?
Let me get a response to that, Mr. Reddy. Let me get a response to that.
Now in Maharashtra, how many people have taken loan? Maybe 30, 40, 50, 60%. What about the rest of the 40%? And then when you take a loan, there is supposed to be an insurance. Now what is the effect of crop insurance? Mr. Modi today, as he was talking so much about this thing. See, the point here, we are grateful for your channel to take up. I would ask the TV channels, in fact today I am releasing a video to all the TV channels. See, in the last 1 month, Has any TV channel projected that Tamil Nadu farmers who are rotting in this Delhi Jantar Mantar for last 60 days, except for a few seconds here and there? Now, what are the priorities of media? If media priorities itself is not there, how do you expect politicians to know?
Absolutely, absolutely. Let me get a response to what you're saying. I accept what you're saying. Chengal Reddy, I accept what you're saying. And on national TV, on prime time right now, I will accept that the fact that the media is distracted. The media is distracted in differences between religion, media is distracted by cows, media is distracted by other such distractions being offered to us by the government. We are not focusing on the real problems in our country, and our real problems are these. The real problems are when farmers are killing themselves out of desperation. Look at the fact that they are no longer going out into the street and protesting. They are killing themselves. That is the level of desperation that we are at. And I'm going to ask Aarti Sathi this very clear question, and then you can rebut what she says. Aarti Sathi, the Swaminathan Committee report has been lying on the table of the Indian government for decades, and we've not paid attention to it. Why hasn't this government paid attention to the Swaminathan Committee report? You said that we've done so much. We obviously have not. People wouldn't be killing themselves if we had done what we were supposed to do, Aarti Sathi. Why isn't this a priority for the government of India?
Okay. Can I just point out the 5 very important steps which the central government has taken for curtailing the farmer suicides? Now, on the basis of a study which I have come across very recently, the important or the 3 main reasons for farmer suicides are really high cost of seeds, fertilizers and pesticides, failure of crops due to inadequate irrigation, and bankruptcy due to indebtedness from high cost and subsequent failure of the crop. Now, these are really the 3 broad reasons on the basis of which the farmer suicides have taken place in the past, and unfortunately sometimes they still continue even now.
No, Aarti Sathi, please. Aarti, I'm going to stop you there. No, Aarti, I'm going to stop you. You said sometimes it still continues. That's not true. It's in fact gotten progressively worse.
I'm getting off the debate. I have just got a chance to talk because of the audio problem. If you're going to interrupt me even now, then I will get off the debate because I have not been able to make my point. Let me tell you the 5 steps which the government has taken, and then you're free to tell me what you want. The first step which the government has taken is 70% cut in the Monsanto royalties. Monsanto was actually trying to sell BT cotton seeds to us, and we were paying a very high royalty, to which the government said, sorry, we will not pay you this royalty with such deep cut into its revenue. Monsanto said, we will go back from the market, to which we said, you are free to go out from the market, but this is if it causes some sort of distress to our agricultural sector. We have told Monsanto, we'll give 70% cut in your royalties. Second step which we have taken is the Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, which is the broad-based irrigation system which we have brought about. And in that irrigation system, in the next 5 years, 50,000 crores from the central government budget will be utilized for this Sinchai Yojana. Maharashtra government has also started the Jal Yukta Shivar, and within a matter of 3 years, we want to make it a completely drought-free state. In fact, I have Vidyasagar Rao's, Governor of Maharashtra's speech, which says that 11,000 villages have already become drought-free. Third step, Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, which is the crop insurance scheme which the government has brought into place. I wouldn't want to read each and every point, but here also we have seen to it that we have given a proper insurance scheme to the farmers. Fourth thing, relief to farmers in input subsidy. Now what happens is this, earlier farmers will now be eligible to 33% of their crop which has been damaged as opposed to 50%. We have given subsidy. And most importantly is the soil health card. The soil health card also has been introduced by this government, by the central government, by the Maharashtra government. So to say that only tall promises have been made by Mr. Modi or Mr. Fadnavis is absolutely incorrect. I just pointed out few minutes back that we have engaged agricultural universities to give us crop patterns for drought hit areas, and according to those crop patterns, farmers are going to irrigate, or they are going to really cultivate the crop. So where is the question of really giving false promises or just giving empty promises? As a government, From the time we have come into power,
we take
have
serious
taken
objection,
strict
ma'am.
steps.
Please don't mislead farmers and public. No, first tell me when the price. What is it a farmer wants?
One second,
See, an
one by
employee
one,
wants salary, a businessman wants profit, and a politician wants power, and farmers want price. What are you talking? You have no. Your BJP or Mr. Modi went on bluffing day after day. You are supposed to pay.
No, one second. Let's actually, so Mr. Reddy, I know this upsets you, but let's actually do this in a civil manner. Let's go point by point. I'm going to go first to Mr. Kishore Tiwari.
I am talking what the government has done. What you are talking is you are only opposing. I am giving you facts and figures.
Profitable price. It is the price that matters, nothing else. What's all these things?
The minimum support price is what matters. The minimum support price is what was promised.
Yes, below minimum price you cannot sell. We have already said that below minimum price.
Gentlemen, let's all just calm down. The audience cannot understand what we are saying. I'm going to go first to Mr. Kishore Tiwari. Kishore Tiwari, the first point that Aarti Sathi made was the reasons for the suicide. Cost of sowing, the failure of crop, and the burden of loans and indebtedness. Would you respond to that? Do you agree? And do you believe that cutting Monsanto royalties is one of the ways to stop the suicide?
Correct, Rabi.
Kishore Tiwari.
Nonsense. Chengal is very serious, and Aarti's argument that the step initiated by Narendra Modi are in line with the MS Swaminathan's recommendations. That soil health card, that excessive use of the fertilizer has been minimized. Second crop provision has been created.
Why interrupting? Let him finish. Let him finish.
एक मिनट आरती I am supporting you. Why are you interfering me in between? Let me see.
I'm sorry, my audio is so bad towards the program. I can't understand what I'm saying. I'm very sorry.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Tiwari. Go ahead.
My audio is very
what
poor.
Is happening?
Yeah, tell me.
All right, Mr. Tiwari, go ahead.
BJP has a very big problem, and their spokesperson has a problem. They don't allow the other people to speak, and they don't allow to listen the other people's valid argument also. The Swaminathan himself told that Modi has initiated a very good step for implementing my recommendation. But recent interview in a Hindu says that the core demand and the basic recommendation of increasing the income of the farmer has been ignored. Because in a national election it was a matter of a manifesto of a BJP that MSP will be a C2, means cultivation class plus 50% profit. And that has been ignored.
Completely ignored. Absolutely right.
Shifting the crop.
Absolutely right.
We have been shifting the crop over the crop, and we have been penalizing by the market forces. This is not the case. If you want to save the farmers, the Chengal Reddy's main demand of addressing the price should be resolved first. Otherwise, the farmers will be changing the government and they will be killing themselves. Unnecessary debate and unnecessary arguments are futile. You address the crisis at the price front, and a revival of the economy is the only ray of hope in a rural economy.
Right.
So anybody make thousands of arguments, but if he is not giving money or pie to the farmers, then farmers will be killing to themselves, whether it is a good crop or is a drought. There has been in 1972 there was a big drought, but there was no suicide. Now you have opened the multinational gate, you have opened the market economy. Now market forces are just controlling the agrarian economy, and the government is just watching. If the royalty has been reduced by 70%, why prices of the seed has not been dropped by 70%? I am telling you, the seed economy is governed by the few handful multinational, and that is not controlled by the state itself. And now the whole economy
Agrarian economy is controlled by vertically and horizontally by few multinationals, and nobody is discussing on that. If you want farmers to live, give them an internal protection as given by United States, as given by China, or as given by the Europe or other developed countries. You have been allowing our farmers to kill themselves and just analyzing on the TV or at that Niti Aayog or in the parliament. And unfortunately,
Mr. Tiwari, I want to bring in.
Our
Yes.
parliament has not been discussing.
Yes, I want to bring in Chengal Reddy here. Mr. Reddy, and you know, the thing that I personally take offense here to is what Aarti said about the fact that there were suicides. There may be a few right now. The suicides, let's acknowledge, have actually been getting worse. In India, since 2013, we've lost on an average 12,000 farmers per year. 12,000 people committing suicide every year, and it's getting worse. Maharashtra tops the list of states with nearly 4,500 farmers committing suicide every year. 42%, the number got worse between 2014 and 15. There was an increase of farmer suicides by 42%. How can we possibly underplay these numbers at all? And to think that 34 farmers in one area kill themselves in 1 week,
No.
we're underplaying it. Chengal Reddy, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Let me once again emphasize, you people, we are not in this country able to understand food production or any of this agriculture production. Like today we have huge vegetables, milk, rice, everything is available. It's not the problem of food, ma'am. See, it's a question of price, as Mr. Tiwari was telling. Look at the 2-3 fundamentals. It's not big. Actually, agriculture problems are not big. It's only limited to only 2-3. Only thing is somebody has to come forward to solve. The first one, ma'am, is the price. See, if the farmer produces, he has to be supported by a mechanism of having some reasonable, profitable price. What am I to do? See, this lady says fertilizer prices have gone up. What rubbish! You increase the fertilizer prices. You see, look, this is totally ridiculous. See, this is a politicalization of farmers' issues that is killing us even today. Let me tell you 2-3 fundamental things. First of all, but for technologies of seed, fertilizer, machinery, whatever it is, our productive wouldn't have gone up. Let us be very clear. If they charge this way, that way, that's not the issue. Today, we are sufficient in food because of technologies. Number one. Number two, the condition of farmer when it comes to farmer, as I told you once again, the indebtedness comes out of 2-3 fundamental things. First of all, low prices, which are deliberately done by government. Second is the crop failure. This lady says, yes, it is a crop failure. Then what is that governments have been doing all these 10, 15, 20 years? Are they sleeping? Look at the tragedy of the Indian situation. The government of India says we are giving 10 lakhs credit to the farmers through banks. Okay. Is the 10 lakhs entire amount is insured? No, nobody knows. Neither that finance minister, nor agriculture minister, nor finance minister, none of these chaps know. Now he was just now, Mr. Tiwari was telling a very interesting. Why should it take 3 months to pay back the loan waiver? You see, banks have accounts. Departments have accounts. What is the difficulty to settle this loan amount within a matter of 2-3 weeks? Madam, the problem today is that nobody is interested. More so, it's not that I am against XYZ. Let me tell you today, if this country farmers' suicides has to be stopped, only government of India, that too today, if Mr. Modi, if Mr. Narendra Modi takes personal interest, this all can be solved within a matter of 6 months. Let me tell Mr. Modi, you can stop them in 6 months. Only for God's sake, please pay attention to farmers. You are spending so much of time in foreign affairs, all sorts of affairs. You see, look at that August 15th day. It is tragic, Mr. Modi. You have asked us for advice. What is there for us to give advice? In 3 years, you haven't kept one promise, Mr. Modi. And again on August 15th, 2-3 days before, you ask farmers for their views. We have nothing to suggest, Mr. Modi. Let me tell you, the Prime Minister and the nation, today you are all in serious problem, because what many people don't understand, farmers are so frustrated. You are all thinking of suicides. Believe me, by the year end, there is going to be a revolt. We will not commit suicides. We will take the other course, law into our own hands. We will stop vegetables. We will stop fruits. we'll stop water, we'll stop electricity, then go to hell. Whether you are in urban people, whether you are in organized sector, whether you are in industry, whether you are policy makers, you go to hell, because the farmers are getting day by day. They are desperate. Only thing is this unfortunate and these miserable, these illiterate farmers are committing suicide. If instead, if they take law and order, beat somebody, they can as well go to jail.
Mr. Reddy,
and they get
Mr. Reddy,
three
Mr.
square
Reddy.
meals a day.
Okay,
This is the tragedy this country is facing today.
All right, let me go to, I see Yogesh Pandey's hand up. Yogesh Pandey. Right, Yogesh Pandey, respond to point number 3 raised by Aarti Sathi. Irrigation system in Maharashtra over the next 5 years of 50,000 crore rupees. It'll take 5 years though. Can we wait? Can we afford 5 years? Another 12,000 farmers. Union budget, I'm sorry. 12,000 farmers across the country every year for 5 years. Can we afford that? Yogesh Pandey. Yogesh Pandey, can you hear me? Clear.
I'm going to go from what Mr. Chengal Reddy was talking about. I mean, Mr. Chengal Reddy obviously sounds very upset, and it's affected him in a big way because he's a farmer. I just want to say something which is away from political lines. The point here is the farmers. Farmers are actually the backbone of this country. If the farmers are looked after, they are the ones who will give us our produce. If we don't take care of them, if they don't give us the produce, we are not going to survive. We all survive, we eat our food because of these farmers. So I think somewhere, whether it's politicization or whatever, we all political parties need to come together and look at this very seriously now, because it's just getting out of hand.
I don't understand what is politicization about this. People are dying.
Yes.
There's no room to politicize. There is only one thing to do when people are dying. It is to save the people who are in distress.
Exactly.
We are a country that was built on Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan.
How
do we forget the second half of that sentence? Why are we so preoccupied by all of these other things, talking about religion, talking about the divide between us, talking about how we are going to corner and make other people uncomfortable in this country? There are farmers dying, and my heart goes out to the fact that Chengal Reddy simply says one thing: pay attention. We don't want anything else. If you pay attention, you can solve the problem in 6 months. Then where is our excuse for the fact that we have not solved the problem yet? The crop insurance and the soil health card. I'm just going to check. Do we have our guests in Pune right now? All right. Mr. Kishore Tiwari, the PM crop insurance and the soil health card, is that a solution?
No, that is one of the solution to address the crisis. Try to understand, there was an excessive use of the fertilizer. So having given a soil health card, there is a reduction in the use of the nitrogen and all these things. Other thing is that the earlier national crop insurance policy was a default. So we have tried and lot of suggestions were made by the agrarian expert, and that has been modified and now it is been formulated. But still the damages are assessed on the block basis, not a village wise. So there are certain reforms that has to be carried out to make it feasible to the all farmers. But one fact where the Chengal will be ready to share with me, Maharashtra, last year we have a crop insurance taken by 1 crore farmers, and this year it has not crossed the 1 million in a drought prone area. That's a very serious thing. When farmers are not getting the benefit out of it, they are not opting it. So there are the things which needs to be a very serious discussion at a parliament level, where legislator and lawmakers or the parliamentarians are not giving a focus. You will be allowing the farmers to die like this, or you will allow them to save. There are issues like a second crop condition, watershed, but the state has a limited scope to act over it. So Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis has done a very terrific job of electrification of agriculture pump, then increasing the rabi crop area to double than the existing one in a drought prone area, making villages drought free. But it is not the solution, because farmers are killing themselves, where 24-hour irrigation and 12-month irrigation is there in the Punjab. Chengal Reddy will have an option over it. Now the Tamil Nadu farmer, which are agitating in Delhi, They are basically a landless farmer and tenant farmer, and their issue is not being discussed at all. And Maharashtra, where the farmer suicides are being done, most of the farmers are a tenant farmers or a landless farmers. And all these issues of a loan waiver and all these things is only focus.
Yes. And this is these are all throwing, but when the demand, and I think that's really clear right now, that's coming from all of the farm activists, is for minimum support price. And let's be very clear, minimum support price was a promise made by this government in its election manifesto repeatedly in various elections. Aarti Sathi, minimum support price, why has the government not made good on that promise when it's very clear this is what all of the farmers want? They just want a decent price for their crop. That's all they want.
I've just got some information on the minimum support price on the basis of an article which I have got right now from my team, which says that the minimum support price has been hiked up as far as paddy is concerned by rupees 80 per quintal and pulses by about rupees 400 per quintal. The Union Cabinet had on June 7th approved the minimum support price, and now the Union Agriculture Minister has informed states and union territories through a letter about the hike in the Kharif minimum support price for the year 2017-18, which will help farmers really to decide which Kharif crops need to be grown. So it's not that we have not kept up our promise on minimum support price. Let me also tell you that there has been a bumper output of crop in 2016-17. The country has achieved a record food grain production of 273.38 million tons. Now, coming back to the farmer suicide issue again. Like I said, our governor, and I'm talking as far as Maharashtra is concerned, we've already got 11,000 villages which have become drought-free. Also, what we have done is that because of the Jala Yukta Shivar Abhiyan, more than 2.5 lakh works have been completed and about 12,000 cubic meters of water storage potential has been created. There is another scheme called the Nanaji Deshmukh Krishi Sanjeevani project, which was partly funded by the World Bank, and it would be introduced in 4,000 villages of Vidarbha and Marathwada. Also, we have distributed a crop loan amount of more than 33,000 crores. So now, coming back to all the woes which I have heard in the last half an hour that the government is not doing this, the kind of sermonizing that Mr. Chengal Reddy did to Mr. Modi, I appreciate. We will take all your suggestions into consideration since you seem to be a farmer who's distressed. But to completely take away the credit from this government, I have in the last half an hour given you statistics and details about the program which the center and the state have been initiating. And every policy will take some time to pan out. It is not an overnight result which we are going to achieve. But to just say that this government has failed to do this government has failed to do that, at least believe the statistics and the reports which come into place. That is all that I can say. And I would like to close by saying that we are committed as this government as far as possible to bring a zero rate as far as farmer suicides are concerned.
Right, yeah, but I have Jaidev Gore on the phone line with me. Jaidev Gore is a farm activist who understands Maharashtra as a state really well. Mr. Jaidevji, thank you for joining us. Aarti Sathi was just talking about the paddy and the pulses minimum support price that the government has increased on the 7th of June, and the fact that the government is trying very hard to implement reform within the farm economy. Do you believe the government is doing enough, Jaidevji?
Yes, every government does something for the help of the farmers. But in Marathwada region, for the straight 50 days, no rain was there in the farms of these farmers. So recently, within 15 days, 34 farmers committed suicide. So this is a distressing situation where the district agriculture banks are feeling very weak. They are not providing proper loans to these farmers. Many of the farmers are getting loan credit from the loan providers. So naturally, if the rain is not coming and the future is very bleak, then naturally these farmers are committing suicide. And the most glaring fact is that the age of the farmers is coming down and down. many younger farmers are taking their lives because of the distressing situation in agriculture in Marathwada, and that is very troubling. Earlier, the average age was 50 or above 50, but now even a young girl just 2 days ago, she committed suicide because her uncle was not able to sustain the family. So it is very distressing that everything is available, but at the same time, digitization processes, new farms, applications which are needed for the farmers, they cannot go to the taluka places, tehsil places to acquire whatever is required for them. So naturally, they feel helpless and they are taking their lives.
We've started online process.
Mr. Jaidev Dole, just tell us this, the online process for the claim, to claim the farm loan waiver. A lot of farmers have told us that this is too complicated and they have not been able to navigate.
It's a two-page document.
Jaidev Dole?
One farmer told me that...
No, it's a two-page document. It's a two-page document.
Instead of going to fill the forms or instead of providing documents, they are happy in staying back in their farms and agriculture. So they are simply reluctant to give information online because there is no electricity, there is no availability of internet. So naturally, it is proving to be an hindrance into whatever the government is providing.
Looked at electrification.
But naturally, it is not quite...
One more thing I want to ask you, Mr. Dole, is that Aarti Sathi just told us that the Jalyukta Shivai has resulted in 11,000 villages in Maharashtra being drought-free.
Yes.
Is that true?
Please repeat the question.
11,000 villages in Maharashtra have been made drought-free because of and thanks to the Jalyukta Shivai project. Is that true?
There is a controversy because whatever is Jalyukta Shivar, the already existing nalas and they have been deepened down. They have just created more space for water, and through that availability.
Why couldn't they be done earlier then?
No, let him finish,
That's not the point, no. The point is you said you made it.
Let him finish, please. Please go ahead, Mr. Dole.
Water is available now, but the seeds have become very pricey. The labor force which was there in the villages, now it has migrated to urban areas. And the extension services of the government as well as from the agricultural universities, they are not giving proper extension services to these people. So naturally, the climate, the soil, whatever is market price, it is not given proper information to the farmers. So they are not getting
Mr. Dole, do you agree with Mr. Chengal Reddy that the farm economy has collapsed in India?
Not in India, I cannot say in India, but especially in areas like Marathwada, it is drought prone. Many talukas are drought prone, so it is collapsing. It shows in the way the farmers are committing suicides.
Right. Stay with us, Chengal Reddy. All of the experts seem to agree. Kishore Tiwari agreed with you, and Jaidev Dole agrees with you that the farming economy has collapsed, or it is in the process of collapsing.
Yeah.
Chengal Reddy, can you hear me?
Please, you repeat. There was a break.
Yes.
Break.
No. So respond to what Aarti Sathi said, Chengal Reddy, that you can rant as much as you want, but to say that the government has done nothing is unfair. The government has increased the support price of paddy and pulses.
No, let's not worry about this lady or some of these discussions. The fundamental problem today, once again, I must emphasize, if you look at the organized sector,
please, Mr. Chengal Reddy, my name is Aarti Sathi. I'm not lady. Please. I'm not lady. No. Please, kindly.
Okay, please. I'm sorry.
Kindly, please be a little. Please have some decorum.
Okay, you are BJP representative.
Okay, please have some decorum. I can also call you some gentleman. Yeah, no. Sorry, please have some. Faye, I think you need to...
Okay, Chengal Reddy, that's Ms. Aarti Sathi, but go on, the point you were making, Mr. Reddy. Go on.
Yeah, please carry on. Yes.
Yeah. See, the problem today in the farming sector is a difference between organized and unorganized sectors across the country. If you see in the last 30-40 years, the growth of organized sectors, whether it is service, industry or others, including a auto or a coffee shop or a barber or anybody, they are today able to fix their own prices and they are able to go up systematically one by one. So therefore, whatever is the governmental policies, these 40% are within the organized sectors are able to go up. But when it comes to agriculture, as I told you, the problem is basically one of unorganized sectors. The second is governmental restrictions. The third is governmental ignorance and bypassing farmers' problem. And fourth, of course, is farmers' problems like lower level, there is no extension service, there is adulteration, there is cheating in the mandis and all that. Now, what I am trying to say is, the problem today, it's not that anything new. Again, I will again go back and I want to tell one very simple thing. When Mr. Joshi, I think he was the BJP committee chairman of that policy committee, he did lot of exercise when BJP announced this manifesto, the Farmer Charter of Demand. It's not that he is ignorant, he is not, he is a very senior leader in BJP and they did lot of consultation.
All right.
And then they come out to this issue of prices and other. Now the question, the ultimate question today is, are you looking for knee-jerk reactions or are you going to try to resolve this problem?
Mr. Reddy, I have to stop you there because I've run out of time. But finally, I'm going to leave it on this note.
Okay.
I take the point that you have made, Mr. Reddy, today about the fact that the media is not paying adequate attention to this problem. In fact, our senior most journalist on this channel, Mandar Fanse, who has spent a lot of time focusing on farmers in Maharashtra, is going to be traveling to Marathwada this weekend. He will be there all of next week. We will report from the ground. We will find out what is going on. We will put this on the map. We will talk about it as the national crisis that this really is.
Why are you limiting only to Maharashtra, madam? I don't understand. Why are you limiting to Maharashtra? Go across the country.
We will go across the country as well. We will go. Point taken. Yes, we will go across. We will go across the country as well. We will go across, especially to Tamil Nadu, and focus on what is happening to Tamil Nadu while we tracked what went on at Jantar Mantar during that protest. We will go to the farms and we will find out what's really going on. To our urban audience, if the farmers are in distress, it means there is no food on your plate. And that is a relationship that we have to respect and we have to maintain. We're going to keep a close eye on this crisis to make sure that our farmers are looked after. You're on Mirror Now. Thanks for watching.